What's up, guys? It's Josh here, back with another Kansas City Chiefs related video, and today I wanted to make another video with the Chiefs free agency idea. So many Chiefs fans, including myself, feel like there is still some work left to be done in free agency for the Chiefs as far as being able to fill some of their holes before the draft, because you don't want to have too many to where you're relying really hard on the draft to cover a lot of these needs. I mean, you're banking a lot of your season on the production of a bunch of rookies, and that's just not really the way to go. But that being said, one of the Chiefs' biggest holes on the roster, in my opinion, not even actually biggest, but just kind of most underrated, or just one that many people don't talk about that I think needs a little more attention than it's getting, is the defensive back spot. Not even just safeties or cornerbacks specifically, but just defensive backs, because one, Spagnuolo, he tends to play three safeties a lot, or have a slot, maybe a nickel guy or someone that's just capable of playing the nickel spot or whatever. It doesn't matter if you're a corner or a safety. I think I think the positions are kind of, when it comes to coaches putting guys out in the secondary, it's a lot less position specific now than it used to be, but that could be a whole nother video. But Bashaud Breeland is a free agent. The team already brought back Dan Sorensen. However, I don't think Dan Sorensen is a guy you want playing 90% of the snaps or more and playing a bunch of coverage snaps. And Bashaud Breeland's a free agent, like I said. The team could still very well bring him back as well. But you still have a hole there if you don't. So right now, there is a need there, and I think the team definitely should add another cornerback. And one cornerback I have in mind is free agent cornerback Brian Poole, formerly of the New York Jets. So before I get into a little bit about Poole, let me just say a little bit more about why I feel like this is a need. I don't necessarily trust Charvarius Ward all that much. I thought he had a really down year. I thought maybe he just I think we saw the player that he really is, which is a solid maybe third or fourth corner, not really a one or a two. I thought he got exposed a little too much at times. I thought he was grabby with the penalties. I'm just not a fan. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe he is even better next year. But I think we kind of know what he is at this point. Bashaud Breeland, I like him, but he is getting up there a little bit in age, not too much. I mean, Bashaud Breeland just turned 29. Brian Poole is 28. So they're not that far off. But if you were nitpicking reasons as to why one might be a better option than the other, then, that's one thing you could say. Plus, Bashaud Breeland knows the defense. And honestly, don't mistake what I'm saying for... don't interpret it as Bashaud Breeland is being replaced. Like, if the Chiefs signed Brian Poole, they could still bring back Bashaud Breeland. Brian Poole would just be nice depth. It just depends on what the Chiefs' plans are. But they definitely do want a veteran corner to add to this rotation, because you saw that in the fact that they tried to sign Kwan Williams. Kwan Williams left without a visit, and or without a contract, my bad, but he visited. And then ended up going back to the 49ers. So the Chiefs definitely are wanting to add a defensive back, and they've already targeted one that wasn't Bashaud Breeland. So why not Brian Poole, who still has some upside? Now, Brian Poole was originally picked up by the Atlanta Falcons as an undrafted free agent in 2016 after going undrafted out of the University of Florida. But Poole spent a few years with Atlanta before signing with the New York Jets. He's spent the past couple seasons there, 2019 and 2020, and he's actually been really solid. In 2 seasons with the Jets, Poole has recorded 3 interceptions, a defensive touchdown, 12 passes defended, a forced fumble, a sack, and 82 solo tackles. Those are very, very good numbers, and He has a lot of passes defended. That's something I really like about him. But this past season, he only played 9 games. He actually ended up he ended up having a shoulder injury that required surgery and ended up sitting out the rest of the season. But in just those 9 games, he had 2 interceptions and 7 passes defended, and he was really coming along in that Jets defense. So it was unfortunate to see him go down. But Poole was on his way to becoming, one of the better corners in the NFL, and was on pace to finish in the top 10 in coverage grade, according to PFF. And this past season, Brian Poole had a 77.1 PFF grade, which is pretty good. And at 5'10", 213 pounds, Poole's actually not that far off in size from Bashaud Breeland. So I think that's worth noting. And I think Poole would actually be a really good fit in Spagnuolo's system. So Greg Williams, who was the defensive coordinator for the Jets up until not too long ago after he was fired, he was someone who ran a lot of zone coverage and liked to blitz a lot as well. Poole was involved in a lot of these drawn up blitzes and did really well, and that's one thing Steve Spagnuolo loves to do with defensive backs is blitz them. Brian Poole could definitely fit in there, and he could also play a lot of zone coverage. Spags, I would say, is pretty zone heavy. Bashaud Breeland, he could do a little bit of both. So can Poole. I just think this would be a really solid signing, guys. His market has been really slow. I don't think he would be super expensive to bring in. He would be a good depth corner, someone you could be comfortable with on the field. He's been one of the more underrated corners in football for the past few seasons. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about him, really. I just thought I would throw it out there as a suggestion. There's some other defensive backs still out there, but those are cut candidates, or not cut candidates, but guys that were cut, like Casey Hayward was one of them. There was another one there's a few of them that I'm not thinking of, but those guys, they were kind of cut for a reason. Brian Poole just was injured, unfortunately, and his market's been pretty slow because of it. I think if he played a full season last year, he may have been picked up by now. But, this is someone that still has some upside, I believe, and he was really coming along in New York. So, that's all I got for today, guys. I just wanted to throw that out there. So let me know what you think in the comments, if you agree, disagree. But that's all I got for today. Make sure you check out www.showmefootball.com for more, and check out my work on arrowheadaddict.com. Make sure to like, share, subscribe so other Chiefs fans can find this. But that's it, guys. Peace.